The Friday night nightcap is the Lone Star Showdown. The second year it's been back since Texas joined the SEC. Texas is 1-0 in the SEC versus SEC matchups. Won last year in Kyle Field. Now A&M has a chance to go get revenge in DKR, and they are 2.5-point favorites. It's a huge game. A&M's trying to make the SEC championship for the first time ever. Realistically, they have to win this game to make it. There's a chance if both Ole Miss and Bama lose, they still make it. The odds there just aren't great, though. So just go win this game. You control your own destiny. And then for Texas, you win this game, and suddenly you make the, hey, we beat 4 top 10 teams. Like, I know we've lost 3 games, but we're in the SEC. Like, you can't leave us out. And, there'll be a lot of petitioning. Petitioning is not really the right word, but, like, pleading your case.
Did you say they played or beat 4 top 10 teams?
Beat.
Texas has beat A&M. They beat Oklahoma. They beat
Vandy.
Vandy was with a 9 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they beat...
I heard the stat, so either we're just forgetting someone or the stat was wrong.
I bet we're forgetting somebody. It sounded really high at the time. I wasn't trying to put you on a spot. I was just
no, that's fine.
I got a different stat for that though, but we'll get into it later.
Sure.
Who is the last team? I'm pulling it up. I did not mean to put a kink in the conversation.
Well, now I'm just curious. So
the teams that they played this year?
The top 10 teams. They beat
Ohio
4
State.
They didn't beat Ohio State.
Well, they've only beaten 2 teams that are inside the top 10 this year. They've played 4.
Vanderbilt.
They've beat OU and Oklahoma, who were 6 and 9.
Would it be the 4th?
Yeah.
Vanderbilt, Oklahoma.
It would be the 3rd.
I think it's just the 4th. They played Georgia.
It would be the 5th time.
But they
played
didn't beat
the top
Georgia.
10.
So I guess the stat was just wrong then. They'd have 3 top 10 wins, 2 of their losses would be the top 10 teams.
The stat came from MSU Barstool.
Probably. No, they're too busy crying about the state of the athletics and how their expectations are too high. Anyway, Texas would have a chance as an at-large if they won this game. But really, for Texas, this boils down to maybe we didn't have the season we want, and A&M has had kind of their dream season. But if we win this, we have the ultimate trump card anytime A&M fans try and say anything. Oh, and y'all's best season in decades, we still beat you. That's kind of what's on the line. And A&M has a chance to, in that, and any chance of Texas at-large bid, we actually make Texas 8-4.
Yeah.
Which is just beautiful if that happened. Like you could not write a better script for this game. A&M is favored by 2.5, and I'll get into my key points in this game. We typically kick it to y'all first, but
you got it.
This is my team.
Go ahead.
For Texas, can all 3 levels of the defense perform? Can you tackle? Can you get after Marcel Reed? Can you stop the run? You've been great at stopping the run all season. Unfortunately, Le'Veon Moss will not be back for this game, despite kind of the expectation being since the injury he would be back at some point in the regular season.
Central Michigan legend.
He's probably not going to play, which really hurts. But you have to perform at all 3 levels because A&M's offense can beat you in so many different ways. So if the secondary on the backside is slacking, we'll hit the explosive plays over the top. If the defensive line and linebackers don't come to play, we'll run for over 200 yards on you. All 3 levels have to be prepared to play. Another big key, O-line has really struggled to protect Arch. They've kind of combated that by quick passing, screen plays. Are the screen plays going to work? The A&M linebackers have been great all season on diagnosing and flying to the ball in screen plays, and then can the DBs tackle on the screen plays? Because then if you do that, put them in 3rd and long. I love the Cassius Howe, Cersei, Rylan Kennedy, Hicks, DJ Hicks. I love our chances to get after Arch, especially with the blitzes. We bring Dalton Brooks, safety, flying in. I just think we can. That's a matchup we can exploit. And so Texas needs to not be in passing downs where the O-line has to protect Arch because they've not been good all season.
Weren't good at Good State.
Correct. And then can you capitalize on the Marcel Reed pick? At this point, Reed's good for either a bad decision or a badly thrown ball that leads to a pick. So when that happens, can you catch the pick for one thing? And then also, can you turn it into 7 points? Can you make it a big momentum play? Or do you just give us the ball right back? How does that factor in?
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, he's going to have one. Guarantee it.
Oh, 100%.
Guarantee it. At least one.
A terrible one, too.
Yeah, I mean, even, I think Notre Dame game, he throws the one on the sideline where it's just, I don't hate the idea, but, you're just not thinking about, what the matchup is. You're throwing it to wide receiver 3 one-on-one. Mm-hmm. It's Ashton Beth the Roman. He's not broken out yet. you had multiple in the South Carolina game, but the one in the end zone where you have Mario Craver on the corner route and you underthrow him by 5 yards, so you just throw it right to the DB.
Yeah,
Stuff
the
like
one
that.
against State where he just floated it 5 yards over a guy's head.
Correct.
As soon as it left his hand, I said pick.
Yep. The LSU game, he threw 2. One wasn't really his fault, but the other one, he just doesn't see the guy over the middle at all and just zips it right to him. And it's a big momentum play.
Yeah.
So can you capitalize on that? For A&M, you're averaging 40-plus points on the road, and the lowest you've scored is 38 at Missouri this season. Can
It's
you
diabolical.
that is ridiculous. That's insane. It's legitimately insane. Can you get anywhere close to that number?
Yeah.
I don't need 38 from you. Can you break 30-plus? Do kicking woes haunt them? Rainey Bond missed multiple against South Carolina. Suddenly, it's another kicker against Samford. And now at Samford, he misses his first kick of the day. He goes 2 for 3. If we have to kick a crucial field goal late, I think my head will be between my knees. I may have to pull up reel and do a JP.
I would suggest you do that. It is so much better.
Because I just don't trust that at all.
I would do it at the Egg Bowl if the sport wasn't just right in front of my eyes.
If you could.
Yeah.
If there's any way to see the future.
Maybe
for
we
a
can get
couple
you a
seconds.
phone. You could just call, hey, are you going to make this? Just let me know beforehand.
Yeah,
Are you going
yeah.
to make this or are you going to miss it?
I just turn around, hear the crowd reaction.
And not just kicking woes, but in a couple of the biggest games, we've had punts blocked. Notre Dame LSU game. Can't have stuff like that happen. Special teams have to be great. Even factors into the return game. They have Ryan Niblett. We have Casey Concepcion. Who wins that battle? Just don't punt the ball to Ryan Niblett, please.
Yeah.
Last year, the short yardage run for A&M was shut down in this matchup, completely shut down. And Texas' front seven's great again, so I don't expect tons of success here. But when we need it the most, can we get a 3rd and 1? Can we be the one that wins that matchup this year? Mm-hmm. Can we create explosives like we've done all season? Mario Craver, Casey Concepcion, even some big run plays. Maybe Marcel Reed breaks one. Taylon Green gave him some issues last week. Marcel Reed's not Taylon Green. I'm not trying to say that, but there is still some of that same dynamic there. Can we find explosives? And I've already touched on this. You have to tackle. Texas literally run the same play to start the last 4 games, which is a screen pass to Ryan Wingo. And it's worked like 3 of the 4 weeks, and it almost worked against the Georgia. In the Georgia game, too, he just kind of gets tripped up.
Yeah.
It was really close to being an immediate explosive play. That's just kind of a taste of what's to come in the game. You're going to have to tackle in space. Texas's weapons have been a little inconsistent, but one thing's for sure, they're very fast and they are explosive. If you give them a chance and make a mistake, they will make you pay. So tackle, tackle, tackle. Y'all's thoughts on this game?
I want to give just perspective on it and then some
Yeah, go
X's
ahead.
and O's from a non-Aggie fan. But gig 'em on Friday night.
Gig 'em and horns down.
And horns down. I agree. Look, all last year leading up to this game, we knew it was going to be big. Throughout last year, we felt that A&M was outmatched coming into that game and that they needed a few things to go their way to win. They needed their defense to play well, and they needed the home crowd to carry them the whole night. This year, coming into the season, the public thought Texas would be better than A&M, of course. I mean, they were number 1 in the country to start the year. But since about week 4, the script is completely flipped. And so for me, this becomes the exact same story as last year with the teams flipped. And it's ironic. Texas now, their only chance to make the playoff is to make a statement against A&M. And they will have to rely on a few things to go their way. Their defense and the crowd to carry them all night. Really ironic. It's almost the exact same story as last night. Characters are just different, and the teams have flipped. A&M playing for the SEC championship spot, as Jack said, win and in. If they lose and Bama wins, they're out as an 11-1 team, which is just it's insane. Elko was asked about that in his press conference, and he said I think he gave. It's one of my favorite answers he's ever given. He said, well, unfortunately, that's just how the schedule worked out this year, that we were playing the bottom teams in the SEC, essentially.
Yeah, he was almost like you can't be mad at it because
Exactly.
it helped us in a lot of ways, so we just got to go finish.
And I love that response of the coach being openly able to admit that the schedule was not as tough as other teams in the SEC while still admitting that it was difficult in nature altogether. Texas, I think you talked about A&M averaging 40-plus points on the road. I think you got a chance to do that again. Texas's defense has been exposed every single week after the Kentucky game. The opposing team is averaging 35 points per game and 434 yards per game. Funny enough, the best they did against a team yardage-wise was Georgia. Vanderbilt, Arkansas, and State all did better, had more yards against Texas than Georgia's offense did. It has been a bad showing for their defense, but they could flip it in one night very easily with the defensive players that they have. They flipped it in one damn quarter against State.
Yeah.
The stat I think you were trying to talk about, but I have a different one on it. Texas against top 5 teams this year are 0-2. Of course, A&M is ranked number 3. Against teams that are ranked, they are 6-10, or not 6-10. They've played 2 teams that are number 6 and number 9, and they are 2-0 against those teams, Oklahoma and Vanderbilt. Texas at home, I think, is a critical part to this, and I'll be really curious if A&M can consistently put up points like they have on the road. They haven't lost since last year against Georgia, and prior to that, you have to go back to 2022 when they lost to number 1 Bama in the big noon kickoff with Bryce Young, a game where Quinn Ewers gets hurt, and then number 4, who beat them in DKR that year as well. Number 4 team in the country made the playoff that year, 2022.
Alabama.
Alabama was one of the teams.
Oh,
But-
sorry.
Made the playoffs in 2022.
TCU.
Yeah, let's say
TCU.
TCU. Yeah, it had to be.
TCU is the last loss since the Georgia loss at home for Texas. They've been really, really good at home, albeit against some kind of Weasley competition, but they did play number 9 Vanderbilt this year, so they deserve a little bit of credit there. X's and O's wise, third down obviously is going to be one of the biggest ones of them. A&M is number 1 in the country in terms of percentage, allowing just a conversion on 21.7% of third downs. So Texas is going to have to find success in the ground game. They're not going to find that. But they're going to instead going to have to find success in the extension of it, which is their screen game, and they're going to have to find more manageable third downs, or Arch is going to get lit up all night. A big one that Texas needs to continue the trend on. Texas is plus 10 on the turnover margin, and in large part due to Marcel Reed, A&M is minus 5 this year in the turnover margin. Even with that defense, they are losing the turnover battle consistently. Texas is going to have to do that again, I think, to have a chance in this game. Penalties, it will be a big one, and I think it'll be whoever avoids it. Will the Cabo Fund continue to go up? Will Texas continue to commit penalties? Both of these teams are bottom 20 in the country in penalty yardage per game. In fact, both of the teams are worse than Mississippi State.
Not where you want to be.
Not where you want to be at all. You wouldn't expect that. In terms of the Jimmies and the Joes, as some people would say, I think the key matchup is twofold. For one, it is Texas A&M's DBs, Desrex, Will Lee, against Texas's wide receivers, which is what you alluded to, tackling in space, Ryan Wingo, DeAndre Moore, Parker Livingstone. They haven't been great all of this year, but they are fast and they are tough. They can be very tough covers. We found that out in the fourth quarter and overtime in the State game where they just started consistently winning one-on-ones. I'm really curious, though, and this is the second part of that fold. Can someone like, is Torian York going to play?
Yeah, he's good.
Torian York and Cassius Howell, will they get involved in that screen game? I think that is a key part to Texas A&M is will Cassius Howell be able to recognize immediately when Arch is going to that screen and just blow it up? I think we're going to see 2 or 3 of those kinds of plays.
We hope, too, we drop him in coverage some. So, like, if the coaching staff can kind of have him ready for it, and then he diagnoses it. Torian York, it's one of the best parts about his game. I hope he continues. I'll say that, and he'll have a dud. But he's the green dot, and him and Scooby, who I don't even know if Scooby will play because of injury.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they just fly to screens.
It's the key to stopping the Texas offense because I do think Texas's defense will put up some kind of fight. They're not going to get up 35 points, but their offense is still, I think, going to have to get to 30. I think A&M gets around 28. Yeah. And my final one is this is not going to be a game to get up and go to the bathroom and grab some leftovers from Thanksgiving. When you see a team not convert on third down, stay in your chair. Casey Concepcion, Ryan Niblett have both been one of the most electric punt returners in the country for both of their teams. and they could potentially swing the entire game.
Yeah.
With one punt return in this game. So for punters in this game, punt it away from them, punt it out of bounds. I don't care if it's a 25-yard punt. Keep it away from them because they can impact the game entirely, and they've done that all season. I think of KC had one in the Missouri game, if I'm not mistaken.
He had a
No,
good return
LSU
in the
game.
Missouri game, but he did
game.
have the touchdown in the LSU game, and he had one against UTSA as well.
Yes, the LSU game, and then of course Ryan Niblett had his against OU, and then here in Starkville. But that's it for X's and O's, and we can get into picking this game. A&M is a 2.5-point favorite at Texas in the Lone Star Showdown. I'm picking A&M to cover 2.5. If this spread was bigger, I think I'm all over Texas.
Sure.
Just because given their precedent, I think they'll show up to some large degree. But Sark, and I didn't have the stat ready, but I wish I did. I think he's, if I'm not mistaken, he's 2-7 now against top 5 opponents at Texas. Texas A&M is number 3 in the country. That seems like a good enough trend to go ahead and take
Sure.
A&M to cover 2.5.
Yeah.
Gig 'em.
I'll go ahead and go. I think I'm gonna go with Texas
Wow.
in this one. That's a kind of a weird pick. The reason I pick it is it has the vibes of like a Michigan Ohio State from last year written all over it. Where Ohio State last year was one of the best teams in the country, turned out to be the best team in the country. A&M is up there this year, the number 3 team in the country, undefeated. I could see them kind of pulling an Ohio State stumble down the stretch. It really does suck that this is the year where you have the better team and you have to go to Austin to play them after last year, hoping that
I relish it.
I mean, no, that is if you win it, it's great, but it makes it a lot harder to win it. And so I'm going to pick this that Texas team was more talented than you last year. I think it's about equal now. Texas hasn't played up to that talent. A&M has played up to their talent this year, and so I think I'll pick Texas to utilize the wide. Like A&M knows what's going to happen, and I still think Texas is going to be able to do not whatever they want to do, but do enough to win the game at home.
Wow.
Hater.
All right.
I just it feels like
I think if Texas wins this game, it's going to be because their defense really limits us and we shoot ourselves in the foot. I think our defense will know what they want to do and limit it fairly well. They may have a couple explosive; they'll still score some. But I've seen our defense limit opponents all year, aside from the Notre Dame game and I guess the Arkansas game. But like the Arkansas game, just like I don't know. I guess maybe we don't perform, but I trust the unit we have over there and the horses we have on that side of the ball.
is this the third best offense y'all have faced this year? State, Missouri,
Arkansas.
Samford.
Arkansas, Notre Dame.
That's what I said. Arkansas, Notre Dame. I'm listing the other teams.
Okay,
Excuse me.
gotcha.
So State, Missouri are both, I would say, with a hurt Perbula, and that offensive line.
They're probably the third best offense we
Offense.
faced, but also what I was going to get to my last point before I pick it is like this is a hot and cold Texas offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they feed off momentum. So come out hot, Texas A&M. I think if you can make them feel a little uneasy, we get a couple, maybe you hit Arch hard early. Cassius Howe gets around the edge, does his ghost move, gets a sack, and you kind of throw them off. And I think they're going to struggle to get going. Now, y'all saw in the State game, if you let them get going, then it's scary. They really feel themselves.
Yep.
But I just think if we can not let them get going, we're in great shape. I'm gonna take A&M here because why would I not? I take them regardless, but also if I'm thinking logically, I think A&M wins this game and the spread's 2.5. So why would I not pick A&M to cover that? Go finish. It's been the word of the year for us considering how last season ended.
I thought grind was the word of the year.
The grind's like the program motto.
Okay.
But the word of the year is finish. Elko said it a ton. At almost every press conference it comes up. And you can tell it means a ton. I watched his press conference today, the air was tight. His answers were short. He was a little testy.
Yeah.
He clearly is locked in and ready to roll.
It was
only one thing on his mind.
I've watched a good amount of his press conferences this year. It was one of the first that wasn't really cheery. Like
He's a guy that'll crack jokes, and there was none of that.
I think there was one joke the
Yeah.
entire time, and because he said he would make fun of a player for a special teams play last week.
our returner got tackled by the kicker.
Yes,
and he
that's
said
right.
he was going to make sure to mention that in the press conference.
Yes, but this year he's been really cheery, and it has been really. It's you don't see it often because not a lot of teams just go undefeated and then also have a ton of positivity around them. Because like even Ohio State has gone undefeated, but because Ryan Day continues to lose to Michigan, there's angst there, and then they just don't look pretty enough, and you have the questions about Jeremiah Smith and everything. But Elko and A&M have like obviously exceeded expectations, but they continue to win, and so the press conference is always a positive one. And it's never really a questioning of what occurred last weekend, although there's a little bit of that in the South Carolina one, rightfully so, but they got the job done in the second half. Yes, I agree. It actually finally felt like he is at least really, really motivated for this game on Friday, and I think they're going to show that.
I agree. At this so far this season, every time we have to make a play or get something done, we've done it, and that just kind of feels. I think it starts with Elko, and so this could be a big like, oh, I'm wrong moment. Like he doesn't have what it takes to like truly be that elite killer of a coach, but he's done it so far this season. So I'm going to trust it and trust an A&M to really come out fiery